Right, I thought I'd do a quick video on how we've prepared the bike for touring, and we've done quite a lot to it. So we've got the touring windscreen with the additional wind deflector on it as well. This does cut a lot of the buffeting down, and it also makes the helmet a lot quieter, which is quite an important thing. For the front, we've got Denali Spotlights, which are very, very bright. We've got a few GoPro camera attachments around the bike. There's one here, there's one on the handlebar, just there. We've got the GoPro 360 mount, which is just there, which is quite useful. And on the back we've got the little rear camera point. Along with those cameras, we've got the Chigee Sat Nav unit, which has a rear camera and a front camera built in, which is not particularly good quality, but it's acceptable if the camera battery runs out or the card's full or something like that. It'll do, but it's not brilliant. So we've got a Quadlock wireless phone charger. Extremely good. I have my phone on there, charging all the time, powering the Chigee Sat Nav unit, and also I run the GoPro cameras off the app on that phone as well. So the Chigee Sat Nav unit, it's constantly fixed to the bike, which is a bit of a shame, but it's there. It's an Android Auto unit, so it works off the phone only. I wish I hadn't bought it, to be honest, but I've got a video on that. Check the playlist, you'll find it. So as for luggage, we've got the tank bag, the Givi quick release 15 litre tank bag. Nice and simple. Now, you may or may not know, when Ducati brought the V2S out, in their ways to move the clutch and the brake fluid reservoir in over to protect them if the bike falls over, which is brilliant. But if you have a tank bag, you can't do it full lock on the bike. So I've had to buy the relocation kit, and I've done a video on this, on moving both fluid reservoirs out over, which means I've now got pretty much full lock. Not quite full lock, but if I'm really struggling, it'll just compress the bag a little bit. We've got a few little frame bags, one either side, one that side as well. And in here I've got my locks for the bike. Also we've got another spare lock mounted on the back there. Similarly on this side, there's locks, and I've also got some visor and camera lens cleaners and cloths. Oh, and also earplugs. Pretty useful. Then we have the Givi tracker luggage, which changes the look of the bike quite a lot. I think it's more rugged rather than a nice sculptured sports touring, but it's each their own really. Now each box has had a few little additives to it. So in this box I've got my pump, spare tyre pump, and also in there you can see there's the tyre screws, which are very useful, and some adapters and things. Lots of tie wraps, and in each box there's a little elastic bag. I've got my spare gloves and scarf. In the top box, chain lube, spare petrol can, very, very, very emergency tyre repair foam. Really don't want to use that if I don't have to. Some snips, my drone camera bag, some locks when we lock the coats up, waterproof. Also under there is the yellow high-vis vest, which you have to have in France. Massive, massive improvement is my little net for my little stickers, which may or may not be getting plastered all around the Swiss Alps. And of course, can't beat the mirror on the top box, can you really? And in this one again, another net, we have the what you call them? The tyre wraps, but they've got a combination lock on them. Anyway, we use those to lock the helmets to the bike. Very useful. We've got the side netting in here for things like tissues and some paperwork, maps, etc. Just going back to the Givi boxes, the panniers in the top box, we've got a nice non-slip top on both sides panniers, very good for putting things on. The top box did have that on, but I've also put a little net here, and that's good just for sticking your gloves in while you're getting changed, putting your helmet on or whatever. We've also got the comfort seat fitted on this one. The standard Ducati seat isn't particularly comfortable. It gives a lower seat height, which is good if you're only short-legged. I just about get away with the comfort seat, but on long journeys, I've got to admit, I also wear my cycle shorts for that extra bit of padding, and I think it's a great help. What have we done in the meantime? Oil's been changed. Tyre tread's good. We've checked up all on the pressures. Obviously the Chigee unit has a tyre pressure indicator, which came in very handy when we did the Northumberland tour. Got some punctures and that alarmed straight away. Speaking about those punctures, brand new tyre. Look at that. Had to buy a brand new tyre and put a brand new tyre on the back after they got 2 punctures. Could have just got away with repairing them, but if we're doing 2,500 miles around Europe, I'd rather have a new tyre on. So you might see in the video where I took the rear wheel off to get the tyre changed. When I put it back on, I cleaned up the whole of the chain, lubricated it, reset the adjustment, so that's all good to go. That'll get a quick spray every other night, just as we park up when it's nice and still warm. I'll give that another lubrication, keep the chain in tip-top condition. Before I actually fitted the Quadlock wireless charger, I fitted an extra USB port, just there, look, quick charging port, just in case I need that. So that gives me an option for charging up the batteries while they're in my tank bag. Very nice little cable. Also, for passenger comfort, I've put this little pad on the top box. Now, it shouldn't really rest on this, but on a long journey, it gives you an option just to relax against the back box with all these hinges sticking into your back. Toolkit, spare battery for the remotes, toolkit with various spanners and screwdrivers, some tape, spare fuses, and some temperature resistant epoxy putty, so high temperature in case I get a crack in the casing or something, and some normal epoxy putty for whatever. So in the top box I've got the 36mm multi-point socket, just in case the rear wheel has to come off. It might be a case if I get a puncture, I get to a car garage, they won't have the right socket. Well, that's it, the bike's pretty much ready to go now. All we need to do is sort the packing out. Keep the top box as light as possible. What you saw in there earlier is all that's going in. We have a pannier each. I use zip tie bags with my clothes, just because I can squash them flat and it gets a little bit of air out of the system. I think it's a bit of a neater, more compact way of packing things. Jan uses packing cubes. It's the same type of thing. But yeah, so next time you see me, it'll be getting ready to go to Europe. Thanks for watching, subscribe to the channel, I'll see you next video.